What's up, guys? Ryan here. So I wanted to do a video talking about what life was like for me coming out of school, coming out of college. Hopefully some of the younger viewers find this valuable. I am 30 years old now, so I do feel like there's a little bit more of a buffer between where I'm at and where my students are at when I teach my college level course, which I actually had to teach two courses tonight, and before that had to work my 9 to 5 job, so it's been a long night. I'm going to try to make this video short, although this is like my 10th time trying to re-record it because I honestly don't have anything planned. I'm just going like off the cuff. Anyways, I'm going to relate this to leaving college and making money, but not just like, oh, I got a job, I'm making money, but like maximizing return on investment. So if we're going to invest a ton of time, like 10,000 plus hours, for me, definitely 20,000, 30,000 hours into some vocation that we're going to call like our professional career, we need to like maximize the value, not just say, oh, I have a job. Let me see what I'm worth according to someone else, because who cares what they say? Like, I'm not going to let my worth be determined by my boss, right? Like, if he's going to pay, or if they're going to pay me whatever salary, that's great. What else can I do with these trade skills, right? So step one, if you're almost out of school or you're recently out of school, all you need to succeed in life is like one valuable trade skill, just one. Be good at one thing. It's not that hard, for real, if you're serious about it. For me, I ended up being a web developer. It made sense for me. Like, I ended up being an IT major because coming into college, I was a computer nerd. I wasn't like trying to make money on the computer. I was just trying to be really good at computer games. My parents always used to say, if I was born like 10 years later when everybody's getting famous streaming, like I'd be very well off. I was very good at multiple games. Anyways, learn one trade skill. I became a web developer because I fell in love with web development as a sophomore. When I took a really boring class that everybody else struggled with, I excelled, read the whole book. I never read the books, read the whole book, just loved it, and just ran with it. I even went as far as to make a website out of a passion project in college that 10 years later is just crushing. It's gotten like over 20 million Google ad impressions. I've monetized it in a bunch of different ways. I've learned so much from it. Built email lists, like just done a ton of stuff. I'm not going to go too in depth. I'll do a separate video about monetizing web traffic at some point. But anyways, I learned a trade skill and then I extended that to build websites on my own time. And I should mention, guys, like I majored in information technology in college, but like I didn't learn anything from the classes. I mean, shouldn't say I didn't learn anything, but like I learned on my own. I didn't wait to enroll in a class that told me what to learn and when to learn it. I went out on my own and just taught myself. It's not that hard. We got Google, we have YouTube. You're here watching this video. Hopefully you've learned something from me of value. So anyways, like if you're passionate about something, go get it. You don't have to wait. So I learned a trade skill. I had a passion project that I never intended to make money, but it's made plenty of it. If you look at my passive income reports, I always cite the Google ad revenue. What you don't see there is like there's plenty of other ways to monetize web traffic. It's not just that. But beyond that, it's like I graduated out of school. People knew I knew how to make websites. Within like 2-3 months of leaving college, if not, I don't even know. I might have done it while I was still in school, honestly. I think I was still in school. I started an LLC. And so I had an official business. And when I say sell it, I don't mean sell your LLC. What I really meant was sell the trade skills. So I'm a web developer. I've got my official business, put up a website. Didn't even need to advertise because enough people knew me and knew that my skill set, and it was a skill set of value. So through word of mouth, I was getting referrals and getting business as a web developer, as a one-man show, essentially getting paid to learn. This is what I tell my students when I'm teaching my web development course, which I'll get to in a second. But I always say, guys, whether you're going to be a web developer or anything else, get paid to learn. As a web developer, it was crazy how the stars aligned, really. I was a pretty social person, pretty well connected, so I did have like a large network of people knowing I was a web developer, so it kind of makes sense looking back that I would get as many referrals as I did. But before you knew it, like I wasn't only getting paid to develop websites, but then also getting paid recurring income to host. There's again, learning new ways to monetize your time and your abilities. Next, teach it. If you've learned something of value, teaching is a logical next step if you are good at it and if you have that ambition. I know there's only enough time in the day. My girlfriend always tells me, oh, I hate that you have to teach tonight, and I get it. Fortunately, like I'm teaching at the college level. I teach spring and fall, right? So it's 32 weeks of the year or so, which means I get 20 weeks off. So it's not too bad. And I teach 2 nights a week, 3 courses per semester, 2 nights a week. It's not bad at all. Or at least I'm used to it now, right? Maybe it was when I first got started, but at this point it's nothing. And I love it. I get to make a positive impact on young people's lives. I always say at the start of the semester, first class, I say, hey guys, like I was in your shoes not too long ago. I was a student at the same school. I learned how to become a web developer, and here I am teaching a course at my alma mater about web development, and I'm going to try to convince you to become a front-end web developer. And if it's not for you, no problem. But, I literally like teach the curriculum, but tie it to my real-world experience, try to convince them to become a web developer, because back then when I was their age, I didn't know what I want. Well, actually I did. But anyways, I was very lucky that I took that one course and ended up like falling in love with web development. Most people aren't that fortunate. Anyways, teach it. Again, this is another stream of income. So the real theme here is like learn one trade skill, go get your 9-to-5 job. And while I'm on that subject, by the way, if you want to make like 6 figures, all you have to do is go find a job that pays 6 figures and then learn whatever trade skill is necessary to get hired to do that job. Just throwing it out there. Like the formula just literally needs to be reverse engineered. So whatever your end goal is, figure out how to get there. Just step backwards instead of forwards. So you got to step backwards first to lay out the plan, then step forwards and incrementally every day chip away at that plan. So if it's to make 6 figures, learn a trade skill that pays 6 figures. Learn it, go get the job. That's it. But then double down. If you've learned a valuable skill, put it this way. If your employer can pay you, let's say 100K, so you make that 6 figures. If they can afford to pay you 100K to employ you, they're probably making minimum like 150K, most likely 200K off of employing you, right? Or hopefully at least, otherwise that company's in trouble. So your skill set's valuable. If they're going to pay you to work there, go make your own money doing exactly what you do for them on your own. Like the end of the road isn't from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's plenty of time in the day. If it's something you're passionate about, or if you need the money, if you need the money, go get it. And then teaching it. Like this is one of these that it's also selling it. If you're doing good work for clients and they pay you in exchange for doing good work, you're making the world a better place, right? If you're teaching it to people who either are interested in it or have to be there, which in my classes I get a mix of the two, again, I'd like to think you're making the world a better place. And then the last bullet, use it to make more money. This was kind of like my note related to, like, I learned how to be a web developer. I made one website in college that became very popular, but like I've got other websites that I've made just for fun. And again, you don't know in the context of like websites, I don't know what websites are going to be big and successful and which ones are going to flop. But it's one of these things where it's like, if I'm passionate about it and I make a new website and I become a better developer and sharpen my skills every time I make a new one, then not only am I getting better at my craft, but the doors open for me to experience another success story and add another, recurring income stream under my belt through monetizing the web traffic. Anyways, guys, it's not all about making money. This life is short, so hopefully you find something you like doing and you can make a living doing it. Ultimately, like I do make great money. This is all just the context of me being a web developer. I don't even talk about that stuff on this channel if you're familiar with my content, but I just want to let you guys know that like this can easily be enough. Like for most of the people I know, most of my friends, like this would be more than enough just doing what I'm showing you right here. For me, like I have bigger ambitions than where web development was going to take me, but you know what? I'm forever grateful for where it's gotten me, and I'm still doing it. Like I still work a 9-to-5 job, and I have already taught 2 college courses after my 9-to-5 job today prior to recording this video. So just don't set limits on yourself. Always focus on like optimizations and efficiencies, and you'll be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for checking it out. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, feedback, hit me up below, and I'll see you at the next one.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.